Hey Betsy, you ready to eat this morning? Oh, be blowing at me. You better go and go to the scorpion. What was that? Come on, girls. Betsy, oh, we're going to have a talk this morning. You know what's in that bucket. Y'all better come on. Well, we're back again at the fence. You know, last time we were here, we had to redo the part where Buck ran through it because he can't have C. So we actually redid it, put some flags on the top so he kind of see those where he could go in and out and not hit the fence anymore. Well, apparently he is scared of the flags and he hadn't been back in on the rye since we put those flags up. So today, the only thing I can think of, I'm actually going to take the T-post down, put up 2 wooden posts, and go ahead and put up a regular gate because he's used to regular gates, and I think it'll make it a lot easier on him. So if you want to, hang around with us and see if we can get this gate put up before dark. All right, to get this gate put up, the first thing we get to do is dig a couple of holes and go ahead and get the post set. This is the fun part. This is the part that's more aggravating than anything else. But got an old pair of manual hole diggers, and we'll see if we can get these holes dug pretty quick. I want to bury these posts about probably 1.5 to 2 foot down in the ground. That way they hold this gate up a little bit better. Don't expect anything to really be pushing against this gate, but I like my post being ground at least about 1.5 foot, maybe 2 foot if I can. Now the gate I got is actually going to be 12 foot, and these T-posts are a little bit wider than 12 foot. I came out a while ago and put my gate over here kind of where I wanted it at, and so it left an indentation in the ground, so I know where my hole needs to be at for each end for my post. All right, so let's start digging a hole. We'll see if that's deep enough or not. All right, I think that's good. Oh, hold right there. Yeah, see if it's level. Right, the bottom turns that tree. All right, let's try to revive it. I'll try it on the front. All right, try to decide on the front. All right, post is pretty much level. I don't never use a lot of concrete. I do sometimes pour around my post, but I don't have any concrete today. And what I'm doing this with today is just stuff I've already had here at the house on hand. I've had a couple posts left over, got an extra gate over there, extra hangers. So instead of having to go out and buy anything this morning, we're just gonna try to use what we got here at the house. And what I usually like to do, since I don't use concrete, I like to pack my dirt down as I go. I don't like to fill the hole up completely with dirt and then let it try to settle in. And all this is right here is an old hoe handle that the end is broke off of. It does really good about packing this dirt around these posts. So as I add dirt to the post, I'll just keep packing it down around it, kind of making it solid. And every so often Kim's gonna come back around and she's gonna make sure my post is still level. Got your level. All right, I checked the back. Yep, that's level. that post is in the ground pretty good. I think it's gonna stay, and the longer it stays and sets up, the more solid it's gonna get in this ground. Our ground down here is about the first foot, 6 inches, 6 to 12 inches is good topsoil. A little bit of sandy consistency to it, nothing bad. But then when you get a little further past that, it kind of gets to a little bit of a, not a deep red clay, but a little bit more of a clay type. So it's good for when you bury these posts around here. They'll settle up and they'll get in the ground good and stay good for a long time. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'll lay my other post down on the ground in front of my other post. I'm gonna mount my gate on. I'm gonna use this as a spacer to keep my gate up off the ground. I don't want it dragging the ground back and forth because I want this gate to be able to swing all the way around without striking the ground on this side. So I've got this as a spacer to get my gate up off the ground. I'm gonna set the gate up here. I'm gonna mark my spot where my hinge needs to be at, and I'll go ahead and drill these holes, get them put in. All right, we got our line marked, and we'll set this down and get the latch put in. Leave that alone. Don't push that over here in my way. What are you doing? Alright, I'm finished drilling this hole out. Alright, you'll notice I went all the way through this post with that drill bit. And the reason I did that is because these hangers are longer than my post. And if I don't go ahead and drill that all the way through, once this thing starts working its way in, it's actually going to split the back of my post, and it's going to probably continue to split. So if I go ahead and drill that hole all the way through, it'll still hold in there just as good as it ever has been, because that bit is not as big as this hanger is, but it won't split the back of my post. Now if we go ahead and get this thing screwed into the post. Oh. And these things are hard to get started, so I'm gonna get a little extra help. And now I found a good old wrench is the best thing to put on there to screw these things in.
Elmo's gonna help.
Being nosy.
Are you being nosy, Elmo?
I don't need that much help. You want to hold my hat a minute? Hold my hat a minute. It's getting hot anyway.
Turn it down.
Don't you step on my hat. If you ain't worried, I'm going to get it back. All right, we got the bottom anchor in, or hinge in, and we'll go ahead and put the top one in and go ahead and hang the gate. All right, raise it on a little bit. Going that way a little bit. Straight like you can close the gate. Straight on. Oh, right there. Alright, now raise it up a little bit.
Raise it up.
Yep. Oh, right there's good. So I'm gonna need anywhere. This right here is gonna be too low. So I'm gonna put it about right here. Anywhere below this knot right here will be fine. Alright, let's set it back off. Set it back up against the tractor. Alright, well I looked at a while ago when we set the gate up and had it level. Anywhere between here and about here, that top bracket has an adjustment on it. So I'm going to probably put it about right here. I don't want it too high and I don't want it too low. I want it about middle way. So we're going to put this top hanger right here. You want to stay behind that post a little bit. Okay. Okay, raise it up. Oh, too much. A little bit more. Oh. Hold on it. Push up a little bit more. A little bit more. There you go, we're right there. All right, we got the gate hung, and folks, I know before anybody says anything in the comments, I know this actually should be turned upside down to actually, in case a cow wants to come up here and push on this gate and raise it up off these hinges. Because if Elmo wanted to right now, he could take his head and pull straight up, and he'll pull off both these hinges, and it'll come off and be gone. If this was a gate that I was going to use to keep them from getting out of the pasture into another man's field right in the roadway, I would probably go back and change it, because I actually misfigured and put it a little bit too low where I can't turn it upside down on this gate. But since this is just a gate to keep them off this other pasture while it's being planted and coming up, I don't think I'm gonna have a big issue with the cows trying to push this gate and knock it off the hinges. If they did, and it won't be no big deal, because they're still gonna be inside of a pasture either way. So if this was an outside gate going out to the outside, I'd probably take the time and change it back over, but for what this gate's used for, this will be fine. All right, let's start kicking dirty. Try to get somebody in the back if you can. All right, let's go right there. All right, level me it. All right, try right here. There's a little bow in that post, so. Okay. All right, now all we got to do is take these two posts out of the ground. Well, I really wouldn't have to, but I think I can make it look a little cleaner. take these two T-posts, one on each side out of the ground, untake this wire, put new knobs on this post, and just redo my fence stretchers, and we'll be good to go. All right, we got a post buried in the ground. For this post, all we got to do now is put the electric fence knobs on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and take and pre-drill the holes for the knobs, make it a little easier to put them in. I've already pre-marked them a little bit ago, so I know about where they're supposed to be at. Now we'll get the knobs put in. All right, this is a handy little gadget right here. Goes into any drill. It's like a socket. And these knobs that we normally use, it's got a space in the end. It'll fit right in there like that. And it's a whole lot easier to put these in when you have one of these. How quick that was. That's a lot easier than having to take a ratchet and doing it by hand every way around. All right, what I'm gonna do now is, since that gate is a little more narrow than what I had before, I don't have enough electric fence wire to stretch all the way across. Instead of going middle way and cutting it and splicing the piece I need in that's that long, I'm just gonna go ahead and, since it's only about 30 feet, 35 feet, I'm gonna go ahead and hook it back onto the little fence stretchers here. It's more clean that way, and it's one less joint or piece together part that could come loose later. So there we go. What are you doing? Blowing at me, making noise? Uh-oh. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and run my new line. I'll go ahead and start with this post right here and get it started. What are you doing? Quit. I don't need a bath. Well, I probably do, but not right now. All right, I'm gonna run this all the way down to the other end. here's where I'm at. So I'm gonna cut me off enough slack. Matter of fact, I'm gonna roll some extra wire up on this spool. Okay. I gotta have enough to loop in there and come back around, so I'm gonna cut it about right here. Lord have mercy. There you have it. Hopefully now Buck will be able to go in there and eat the rye or the cows, not be scared to go through. To be sure, he can see this gate as big as it is, and with 2 wooden posts on each side, I think he'll be more comfortable going through. All right. What you doing? Spice bottom. All right, I'm ready to go in the house, get me something to drink and a peanut. Put this stuff back up. I think we're done for today. There you go. Coming to the house. You tired to walk? You coming to the house? You coming to the house? You coming to the house? Oh me. All right. Here's that tree.
Come on. Walk with your back end out here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Walk with your back out here. There you go.
Y'all like the gate too? You do? All right then.